Beauties, beautiful children of the Most High Yahuwah, may all of you who click this live, may blessings be upon you, may abundance be upon you, may all the good things that Yahuwah brings be in your generalized life. May everything for you be looking on the ups. If things have been shitty, let this be a checkpoint that things is finna get better for you. You know what I mean? Let this be that. For those of you who don't know, I am Najee E Al-Mustafa Ali. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. If this is your first time coming across, I'm not gonna make this a long live. However, though, I told y'all that I was doing studying. So I just finished copying the entire United States Constitution. So what I'm gonna do next is copy down the Bill of Rights and, of course, all the amendments to the Constitution. Head upside down, my fault. I wanted to show y'all this though. Common Law Handbook for jurors, sheriffs, bailiffs, and justices. Oh, my lighter drawer. So, in this book, this book is given to everybody who is so-called in some type of authority position. So, I mean, if you deal with the law, you're supposed to have this book, right? This little book right here. So, I want to point out something very. It's a lot of good shit in here, by the way. A lot of Supreme Court cases that's backed up. Since I got 12 people, I want to go to something that's very important, very controversial, and which all y'all need to know. Uh, Let me see when it talks about licenses. Okay, real quick. Licensing library. Okay, licensing library at the bottom. Now listen, y'all. It says no state shall convert a liberty into a license and charge a fee thereof. Well, therefore, charge a fee therefore. Look at the lightning bug, baby. If the state converts a right, liberty, into a privilege, the citizen can ignore the license and fee and engage in the right, liberty with impunity. Shuttlesworth versus City of Birmingham, Alabama, 373 U.S. 262. Okay? So why did I say that? Why did I bring this up? Because, again, traveling is free. It's a part of the Constitution. You don't need a license to travel. Traveling means going from point A to point B. Traveling, whether you're traveling on foot, whether you're traveling on bike, whether you're traveling by car, plane, you don't need a license to travel. Do you need a license to board a plane? No, they want an ID, but the only reason why they require ID is because they invaded your damn privacy after 9/11. Before that, you didn't need an ID to fly planes. You just got on a fucking plane and flew. So, all this stuff they do to basically violate your rights that you have protected under the Constitution. But because they scare you and shit, they be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, we need your privacy, right? It's the law, but it isn't. The law is right here. The law is everything, as y'all can see in bold. Those are cases. Everything that you can be backed up by case study. Okay, everything that can be backed up by case study. All right, I want to go to something else. Okay. That's important. No one is bound to obey an unconstitutional law, and no courts are bound to enforce it. That's important. Um, I wanna go to the part where it talks about what happens when you get kidnapped. There's a lot of look. There's a lot of good shit in this book. Okay, and I highly recommend everybody get a copy of this common law. It tells you the history of the sheriff, right to assist. I'm trying to go to. Oh, here you go. Here you go right here. Here you go right here. I passed it. My fault. It says only people can judge. Make sure, let y'all know I ain't making the shit up. Only people can judge. This is called Common Law Handbook. Common Law Handbook for jurors, sheriffs, bailiffs, and justices. This is highly recommended. If you are currently residing in the so-called United States of America, you need this book. Okay, this book is going to help you. It's going to help you. All right. Especially dealing with these fucking criminals and crooks out here that's not even operating by the Constitution, and which by this land you are required to operate by. So, only people can judge. Our U.S. Constitution only authorizes common law courts, aka courts of record. A court of record removes the power of the judge to make a ruling. His role is that of the administrator of the court. The final determiner is the tribunal, who is either the sovereign plaintiff or a jury. Remember, the servant cannot rule over the master. Can the clay rule over the potter? Every man is independent of all laws except those prescribed by nature. He is not bound by any institutions formed by his fellow man without his consent. Cruden versus Neal. Here is liberty if you do not give a court consent. They have no jurisdiction over you. Under U.S. Codes 42 and 18, when you are detained without your consent for violating a statute, you have just been kidnapped. And if the judge sets a bail, he just set a ransom. And when the prosecutor confirms the charges, he becomes part of a conspiracy, and you can put the conspirators in jail and sue them for damages. It's all about jurisdiction and consent. It's in the book. It's in the book. Let's go to something else for all you people who talk about these licenses and you need licenses for this, you need a license for that, you need a license for this. Let's see what it says about licenses, right? It says states cannot license rights. A state may not impose a charge for the enjoyment of a right granted by the federal constitution, and that a flat license tax here involves restraints in advance of the constitutional liberties of press and religion and inevitably tends to suppress their existence. That the ordinance is non discriminatory and that it applies also to peddlers of wares and merchandise is immaterial. The liberties granted by the First Amendment are in a preferred position, since the privilege in question is guaranteed by the federal Constitution and exists independently of something for which it cannot ask a return. Oh, wait, hold on, my fault. And exists independently of the state's authority. The inquiry as to whether the state has given something for which it cannot ask a return is irrelevant. No state may convert any secured liberty into a privilege and issue a license and fee for it. Murdoch versus Penn, 319 U.S. 105, 1943. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's talk about government. Y'all want to talk about government for a second? We, the people, are a republic, not a democracy, which is just the first step of an oligarchy. Republican government, one in which the powers of sovereignty are vested in the people and are exercised by the people, either directly or through representatives chosen by the people to whom those powers are specifically delegated. Democratic government, the form of government in which the sovereign power resides in and is exercised by the whole body of free citizens directly or indirectly through a system of representation as distinguished from a monarchy, aristocracy, or oligarchy. Let's talk about rights and sovereignty. Only people are sovereign and have rights. Bureaucrats in their capacity are not sovereign and have no rights. They have authority given by the people and are subject to the statutes. The state cannot diminish rights of the people. Hurtado versus people of the state of California. The assertion of federal rights, Bill of Rights, when plainly and reasonably made, is not to be defeated under the name of local practice. Davids versus Welschler, 263 U.S. 2224. Where rights secured by the Constitution are involved, there can be no rulemaking or legislation which would abrogate them. Miranda versus Arizona, 384 U.S. 436 491. There can be no sanction or penalty imposed upon one because of this exercise of constitutional rights. Scherer versus Colon 481 F 946. Sovereignty itself is, of course, not subject to law, for it is author and source of law. Yick Woe versus Hopkins 118 U.S. 356 370. Undersigned and sovereign, and no court has challenged that status standing. To deprive the people of their sovereignty, it is first necessary to get the people to agree to submit to the authority of the entity they have created. That is done by getting them to claim they are citizens of that entity. See Con- Constitution for the USA. See, and that's why again I'm gonna go through all the amendments because again it's all about consent. And if y'all can see in my video, I gave no consent. Okay, I gave no consent, especially for no searches and seizures. I had an opportunity to study law when I was in high school, my senior year, and right in the middle of the semester, they switched my class. In the middle, like mid semester, class got switched from law to AP US history, which like I wanted to fucking learn that shit. I law, law, bro. I would have this shit, this shit, law. That's all me. That is all me, and they knew that. They knew they had to take me out that class. I can't let somebody like me figure out the law. I'm gonna stand on it, like I'm doing now. It's a lot in this book, man. Oh, the Bill of Rights is in this book. Shit, it just said something about the common law grand jury. Where's they at? How can I join the common law grand jury? Look, if there's people out there, how the corporation was usurped by the corporation. Oh my lord. The corporate United States is not obligated nor accountable to the people except to make a profit for its stockholders as a corporation. The corporate interest does not benefit the people but uses the people as their labor to make a profit for the corporation. This corporation works in concert with the corporate courts and banks to usurp the people's wealth. The transfer of the constitutional authority of the money over the private foreign bank, the non-federal Federal Reserve, has devastated our lives. This crime of taking the money authority away from the people must be corrected and authority restored to a constitutional form of government so our country can become prosperous once again. Like I said, y'all, for y'all think that United States is a fucking country, it hasn't been a country in a long time. In a long time. It's talking about the governor. Have you ever heard of the governor of the universe? I never heard of a governor of the universe. I wonder who that is. How do I talk to them? Like the intergalactic shit. Like the intergalactic courts. How do I talk to them? It's people above. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, the most high is above all this shit. But it's still like, tiers of shit. Like the galactic government. What the fuck? That's a real thing? A galactic government. You kidding? You fucking kidding? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. They want y'all to die so damn fast so y'all don't see what the fuck is really going on. That's why they try to make shit so fun. So you do all this shit quick, right? That's why for a long time it was YOLO, you only live once. That dumbass slogan a lot of people was doing to die fast. You only got one life. No, you don't. Your body renews itself every 7 years. So tell me you only got one life. It's just what they say to get you to not use your life intentionally. You know what I'm saying? For you to be wasteful and so they can get your damn energy quick and put your ass back where you came from. I appreciate everybody who clicked this live. Look, I'm gonna be for real. I ain't gonna be trendy. I ain't gonna be, you know, trying to get y'all attention, trying to do shit. Like if shit happens to where I do go viral, that's one thing. But I ain't looking to go viral. I'm not out here trying to do viral shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to do my due diligence in this realm and be the child of Yahuwah that I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? If I could be one less problem out here, then hey, look, I'll be that one less problem. But I think that's it. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna make this long. It's already been 20 minutes. But I wanted to point out uh, a couple things, and we're gonna review this. We're gonna read this whole book. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all need to know. Y'all need to know if you have experienced this corporation, so-called law. Oh, right. Hold on, real quick. It was something else. Bingo. Okay. Damn. Right. My fault. I was looking. Okay. Four. Only people can file a criminal complaint. There are only three ways a court can hear a criminal complaint. One or more of the people sign a sworn affidavit that they have been injured. Two, a prosecutor on behalf of the government brings an accusation before the grand jury, and the grand jury either indicts or does nothing. Y'all finna see literally a storm pop up right in front of me, y'all. It's finna start raining. And put this paper back. The grand jury, by its own will, can investigate merely on suspicion that the law is being violated or even because it wants assurance that it is not. And if it finds wrongdoing, it can present it to the court and it must go to trial. No one can second guess the grand jury unless the grand jury's action violates others' unenable rights. Okay, that was one. That's another one I wanted to read. That was very important. And that's why I do gotta reread, but it's somewhere in here where it speaks about basically the state can't the state is unable to hold any criminal charges against you if you haven't been brought up by the people. It's somewhere, it's in here, but that was one of them for sure. So yeah, it's raining right now. Trying to see if I can find it. Because say only people can file a criminal complaint. But it's somewhere where it specifically says though. Liberty, remedy for every injury. Court, judicial notice. Supremacy clause, common law of the law of the land. Mulberry versus Madison, interpretation in favor of the people. No mercy has just cause to suppress the Constitution. Constitution must be construct construed to reference the common law. Certain proceedings are null and void. Shall not infringe. Comes between statute and constitutional effect from benefits. Supreme law based on law affecting null and void. No one is bound to obey unconstitutional law. No courts are bound to enforce it. Congress can't alter rights. Rights don't come in degrees. States can't issue licenses. I'm gonna find it because that's important. I'm gonna find it next time. It's okay. But that's important though. Only only people can file a criminal complaint. But yeah, so in this book, there's a lot of good stuff, man. It's a lot of good stuff. Recommend everybody to get it. I've been on here for damn 30 minutes. I've been trying to find that part, but I'm gonna reread it and take notes on it. And like I said, we're gonna actually legitly go through it. You know what I'm saying? Because we all need to be free from this tyrannic system, and that's just it, man. We all got to get our liberties and act the way how we supposed to, how the Most High intended us to behave. Because we ain't supposed to live by man's law. We live by common law. We live by nature's law. We live by the Most High law. We don't live by the law of man. Okay, you don't. You ain't supposed to. So, all right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for stopping by.